Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel. This is Ken, and I am here for some supplemental physical media news. Of course, I dropped the physical media report yesterday. I actually dropped it on a Sunday, which is a little bit of a change of pace, but I had it ready because I got it ready on Friday. I took a trip over the weekend, which you guys will see my trip to McKay's in Nashville video. That's going to be later today, actually. But on the way back from my trip, we got this news, this Barbarian physical media news. And since this is a story I've been following pretty closely since 2022, when it was made clear we weren't going to get Barbarian on Blu-ray or 4K or any kind of release. And I've been very outspoken about that. I've made multiple videos on when the hell is Disney going to put Barbarian out on Blu-ray and 4K, and it looks like we have some movement. So I wanted to update you guys here today. And yeah, guys, just to reiterate, physical media report usually drops on Monday today. So if you're like, where's it at, Kent? Well, I dropped it yesterday. Go back on my playlist. I'll probably try to repost it in my community tab as well. But go back, watch it from yesterday. There was tons of news. We talked, there was like a 52-minute long episode of the Physical Media Report. There was so much news to talk about. We did not talk about this. And this broke, like I said, on my way back from Nashville and going to McKay. So I wanted to do this video just to kind of update you guys. And I'll probably discuss it again on next week's Physical Media Report. But let me bring up this article real quick. I'm not super prepared, guys. I just got back. Goodness, geez, Louise. Cut me some slack, okay? If I can figure out how to share a screen here. Okay, so this was on Collider.com. Zach Kreger did some kind of an interview where were discussing the film and all that technical mumbo jumbo. Him as a filmmaker, horror genre. Is he going to stay in the horror genre? Which he said he is. I read the entire article, but the thing that we're the most interested in is not weapons, which they discussed a lot about weapons. Not weapons coming to physical media. We know that's coming to physical media. It's getting a nice 4K steelbook. It is getting a 4K. It's getting a Blu-ray because Warner Brothers is the ones that's putting that one out. Disney, through Regency, I think, or maybe it was New Regency. I can't quite remember, but they owned the smaller, more independent studio that put out Barbarian. They were part owners of that studio. I can't exactly remember like the connection. I just know that Disney's responsible for the distribution of Barbarian. It never happened. Never happened. And it's kind of unprecedented because a lot of people, and I'm sure I'll get this in the comment section, like, well, who cares? Nobody liked that movie anyway. I didn't like that movie. There's a lot of haters of Barbarian. I don't get it. It's an extremely fun horror film. Is it a masterpiece like The Shining or something? No, it's not. But I thought it was really fun. I enjoyed it, and it was definitely something that I would want to own on physical media. But I'm sure I'll get comments that are like, this movie's crap. We don't need it on physical media. That doesn't matter, guys. Look, it doesn't matter if you think the movie deserves to be on physical or not. The fact that you have a new film that wasn't in the theaters, this wasn't on Netflix or something. It wasn't a streaming film. It was in the theaters. It grossed, I feel like 5 to 6 times its budget. It did well. I think it did maybe like 40, 50 million theatrically on a $6 million budget. It did well. I don't know the specifics, but it did well. And then it just never came to physical. And it's like it was just so strange how it happened because it was clear it wasn't going to come out, and then people started questioning it. And it was like 2-3 months later, then the producer came out, Roy Lee, and it's like, no, we're working on special features for the DVD, the physical version. It's going to be out soon. Then everybody's like, okay, it's coming out soon. And then 2023 came, nothing. 2024 came, nothing. 2025 is almost done. I mean, we're in the last 3 months basically of the year. And finally we got something, a tiny little bitty nugget from Zach Kreger. And I mean, I posted this on as a short about a month and a half ago, where Zach Kreger, because a lot of people ask him about it, like to the outlets, like credit, the reporters credit, that are interviewing him, they always bring it up. It feels like they'll bring up physical media because a lot of them are physical media fans, and they'll say, well, when are we going to get this Blu-ray or 4K of Barbarian? And the movie's been bootlegged to death. Like, so many people have this on 4K and Blu-ray. And he always expresses extreme frustration. He's like, I don't know what's going on. I've been championing it as well. I've been trying to get this thing out, but it's kind of out of my hands. But I was kind of hoping that this would happen because of the success of Weapons, I feel like is why we're getting some movement on this. But let me get into this article real quick, guys. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, guys. This is not going to be a super long video. And leave me your thoughts down below. Are you somebody that was a fan of Barbarian? Are you excited to get it on physical? Are you somebody that doesn't care? Like, where do you come down on this? Let me know in the comment section below. Zach Kreger reveals there's finally been movement on a Barbarian physical release. Kreger previously had a difficult time pushing Disney to give Barbarian a proper physical release. Okay, so that's the headline. There's the image from Barbarian right there. And then we get into the actual article, which is kind of an interview in article form. I would be remiss if I didn't ask this, and I know you spoke about this recently, but since Weapons became such a hit, I'm curious. I'm a physical media hound. I have so much. I've watched Barbarian so many times. I want that physical release, which, by the way, guys, Barbarian was on Netflix and they took it off. So it was available to watch on Netflix. Now it's not on there. That's what I'm talking about. It's like we want ownership of this stuff. We don't want to rely on these streaming services because the movies can just so easily be yanked from these streaming services and we'll never be able to watch them again. All right, so let's get back to it. I'm a physical media hound. I have so much. I've watched Barbarian so many times. I want that physical release. And I wonder, with the success of Weapons, has that given it any movement? And Kreger just says yes. And then the interviewer says it has. Oh my God. And Kreger says, I can't say anything else! Exclamation point. And then the interviewer says, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Kreger, I know I'm right there with you. I'm like, come on, baby. Come on. So that's it, guys. Again, it was he didn't get into too many details, but I did want to discuss it and kind of pontificate on where we could possibly be seeing this or who's going to put this out. Is it going to be a Disney proper release? Now, the thing that was interesting is Barbarian came out in the same, time frame, like within 2-3 months of a movie called The Menu, of a movie called Banshees of Inisherin, of a movie called The Boogeyman. All these films, Banshees wasn't a horror film, was actually Oscar nominated, but The Menu and The Boogeyman kind of plays around in the horror genre. Those got Blu-rays from Disney. Barbarian seemed to be the only one that didn't. Again, it's still a mystery to this day as of why it didn't. So is this going to be something substantial? I'm hoping, since Kreger's involved and because he did mention liking those special features, and that's why he likes physical media, is because of special features, new documentaries, stuff like that, audio commentaries. Hopefully it means we're getting some kind of a special edition of some kind. I don't know if Disney would be the ones to do that, but I will say on a lot of their new release, Marvel films, Pixar films, a lot of stuff really, they'll do special features and they will kind of go all in on audio commentaries and stuff like that. I just don't know if Disney's willing to do that for this movie. So I'm hoping it's not just merely a Disney bare bones Blu-ray release. Hopefully we'll get something a little bit more substantial. Now, you could say maybe, Disney recognizes what they have here. They know Zach Kreger's a big name. And maybe possibly, let me make myself a little bit bigger, guys. Maybe possibly we'll see a 4K steelbook of some kind. Like, but again, with how it's been with Disney and Sony and the 4K steelbooks, they're very hard to get. They sell out. And I imagine with Barbarian, because look, like since this whole thing's happened, like, yes, Barbarian, very B grade, low budget horror film that made kind of a splash. And like I said, it made some money, but I feel like its legend has only grown because of this physical media thing, especially in this space. And I feel like if they put that up for pre-order, it's going to sell out very quickly. And then, of course, there's going to be the whole issue of the availability, and it's going to sell out. And Disney will probably put more in stock, but it'll be months later. And that's just going to be a hassle. And they'll just do the Steelbook, only 4K Steelbook, and no like regular Blu-ray, which if it's going to come out, I want a regular Blu-ray. Again, I'm not trying to be greedy, but again, I want a regular Blu-ray, 4K Steelbook, all the fixings for Barbarian. But then I started thinking, well, if Disney's not the ones that, want to put it out, which they've done horror films, with Sony. We got The First Omen, which I think The First Omen, did it get a 4K or was it just a Blu-ray? I cannot quite remember. I feel like it might have been just a Blu-ray, and I feel like I might have made a video on that as well. But, I do feel like we are getting a little bit of movement when it comes to Disney licensing some stuff to other labels, whether it's in the States, but also in other countries as well, like Imprint. I'm wondering if maybe I could really see Imprint Films doing this. And that's kind of its own thing. As well, that's kind of its own problem, at least to me, because I don't want to pay $100 to get a 4K Barbarian release. But that would open up the some doors and some opportunities to get a really cool release from Imprint Films with plenty of new special features and maybe making of documentaries, audio commentaries, things like that, booklets, the whole thing with Barbarian. And I do think it would sell very well. So I do kind of wonder because we got G.I. Jane recently coming out from Imprint. That was a Hollywood Pictures release, I think. It was either Hollywood Pictures or Touchstone, but it was Disney. So a Barbarian that comes out, through Imprint, that would be them working with Disney again, which they've already done. So I think that could be a possibility, but that still sucks for people in the state. Now, maybe Disney will do a Blu-ray in the States, just a regular Blu-ray, and then we'll get the Imprint 4K release as well. But then I was like, well, they've worked with Criterion, not saying Criterion will do it, but could we get something that, would kind of be considered a little bit unprecedented? Could they maybe possibly work with somebody like Screen Factory? Could we get a release like Hush, maybe, where the director's like very heavily involved, like Mike Flanagan was with Hush, and we get all kinds of cool special features, multiple special features, audio commentaries, the whole thing with that? That would be pretty cool as well. And honestly, I feel like in the States, Screen Factory really would be that would be a huge get for them. And they have not had a good year. I've been very critical of Screen Factory, but that would be a huge get for them. And I think it would be pretty cool as well. And I do think it's a label that Disney, because it's such a mainstream label, kind of like a Criterion as well, would be open to maybe working with. So I don't know, guys. Like, what do you think are the possibilities here? Could this maybe go to Screen Factory in the US, maybe Imprint in Australia? Is it possible that Second Sight could get a hold of this as well? I think it would be a great Second Sight Films release. Also, or are we just destined with Barbarian to get a bare bones Blu-ray, maybe one new feature audio commentary, which would be cool. Again, I just want to own the movie. I'm not trying to complain. I just want to own the film. But also, I feel like because this has been so built up, we're kind of owed at this point because we've had to wait 3 years to get it, some kind of like super special premium edition. But what do you guys think of this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications for all future videos, and we will see you next time.